Re:Zero Kara Hajimeru Isekai Seikatsu Season 2 is licensed and produced by Crunchyroll, Studio, White Fox, Networks, TV Tokyo, TVO, TVA, and ATX. Based on the works by Tape Nagatsuki. Please support the official release. Hello, YouTube Jack here with more Re:Zero Season 2 Episode 4, or Episode 29 in total. And the last time, what we had Ekitana, the Witch of Greed, and the very much not as expected Tea Party. Some translation errors with the Envy Witch Factor, which was actually this Love Witch Factor or something like that. I'm still not sure if the Witch Factor is supposed to be like the authority or something completely separate. Kinda should have asked that to someone. I mean, I did ask you people, but nobody bothered telling me. I feel betrayed. In any case, yeah, that's what we are. And, well, we had the trial of the Sanctuary that only halflings could participate in, except with Subaru, since he got special permission from Ekidana. For better or worse? For worse, probably, going by, you know, this show's standards, because everything is always worse. And, yeah, now we're in the past. Back at home. With a very interesting father figure, but, you know, going by episode 18, the previous season, you know, just the episode everybody talks about, Subaru was kinda a lot self-loathing when it came to like his life, pretty much in general, but he was also talking about like before he got isekai'd. And there's also the fact that he like not once even bothered to like ask about his circumstances or like ponder them or how to get back or anything like that. So if I were to guess, he somehow wasn't too happy with his life. I'm not saying that he was miserable, like, I mean, he was probably, but, you know, not out of anyone's particular fault other than his own, perhaps. Which might be what this is about. I don't know. And this episode has me somewhat especially anxious. Like, in a completely different way to the previous one, because with the previous one I had no expectations, but at the same time we were, like, on the verge of the tea party there, and we finally got to meet the Witch of Greed, who I'm not supposed to call a witch because apparently that makes her sound evil, except she calls herself evil because her situation is probably very complicated and not at all as simple as like good or bad or something like that. Which probably also applies to all the witches because, you know, rewatching the scene when she talks about the other witches, they all kind of seem to be in this position that they committed evil for a good cause. But when you do that, it's an incredibly thin line to say, like, how much evil are you willing to commit and still be considered a good guy, you know? So, like, you have the Witch of Gluttony, I forgot her name, but, like, she created beasts against God or something to feed the hungry. I'm not exactly sure what the words were, but it didn't sound that bad when she said it, but you also... Jesus. Well, cat doesn't mind. No idea if anybody heard that, but now that's some rolling thunder. I would like to say that it's like there's a cold storm outside and in here it's warm and cozy, but except no. We're in the middle of a heat wave in summer. In here it's warm, it's nice and cool, and out there it's just humid. It's like a freaking brick wall when you try to go outside. Like, you have the dry heat is one thing, but the humid heat is kinds of worse. Like, get slapped in the face when you just open the window. Yeah, so get the outside right there. Gluttony, like, she created the white whale, right? That was one of her creations, if I'm not completely mistaken. So that's a bad thing, objectively, right? That thing killed a lot of people and completely erased the memory of probably more. So not good. And Ekitana herself said she committed lots of evil in her thirst for knowledge, so again, like, we don't exactly know what she did, but I guess it's fair to assume that all of them passed a certain threshold at some point, where perhaps it's no longer, like, to say it was for a good cause, no, at a certain point you're just plain evil or something. Again, it's complicated. You can do a lot of fun stuff with complicated characters like that, and I'm looking forward to whatever it's gonna be. But this episode feels different because we're just sort of like with Subaru's past now, which, again, we've never even hinted at or anything, other than the fact that he was miserable. And so it feels completely open-ended here. I have nothing of what to expect here. And it's in a different way than I had with the Tea Party. So, yeah, so much for a 5-minute prologue. Let's get into the episode. In 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, quite a startling wake up, eh? Damn. For what it's worth, they seem to be getting along great. Like, damn, that's an wholesome family. Beans. It's a forest of green. But like there's this haze on top of it, and it's just unsettling me. It's that, eh? He's always pushing it away. And back to him. Okay. And a tiny and red. So you don't discriminate or what? I dig this guy so much. So who did you make it for? I can't even stand to look at it. Right. Well, at least they're pulling through with their own nonsense. Yeah, apparently he's making an effort to get him to go to school, which Subaru just not having. It's also interesting he got his eyes from, like, his mother. That's curious. That's when it's too late for school, perhaps. Which is like, a relief for him. Yes, called it. Yeah, you're just being perhaps a bit slothful. I'll leave and come back. Yeah, more like the silver-haired fetish is strong, isn't it? Is that like Absolute Duo, by the way? Absolute. Well, then that's pretty. Did ya? Because that line really has me wondering now. Pride and joy, eh? I don't know, I think he's a nice mix, honestly. Yeah, the topic we really want to avoid there, eh? Oh boy. Absolutely not. Damn, that's smooth. Well, yes, there is, as it so happens. Even if right now he might be unaware of it. We keep on coming back to that, eh? Oh. I mean, not everything, but I will say it's kind of important. Though it boils down to every person individually. Yeah, that's kind of a thing, apparently. Well, the whimsical music is gone, so. And it's back tenfolds now. I don't know if the heartbeat is amazing or super unsettling. It's sort of a mixture of both. But damn, the animation's always so good. Not so much softer look now. You know, 4 episodes and 1 out of them had an opening. Just gonna throw it out there. And that feeling just kept on piling up, eh? And more forceful, eh? And one by one. Apparently it's hard to live up to your dad, eh? Okay. It's kind of interesting to see him do this like with the same act that he did when he arrived in the other world. Yeah, that's how these things go. Because honestly, they're awesome parents from what it seems, but not what he needs right now, I suppose. Somehow that hits even worse. Well, might as well call back to everybody's favorite scene. Fun. It's not a headbutt. Okay. Pick a more active method. A different girl, by the way. Yeah, apparently your father's quite a tall figure to live up to, eh? At least the expectations of others. Make a part of your life. He's awesome. Music's so great too. God damn it. I feel like this time he's a lot more sincere with that pose than before, like both in high school debut and in his Isekai debut, if you will. Suit. What gives you that? No world of mayonnaise. Well, it's kind of fine like that. Wouldn't do any good if your like resolve was that whimsical that it just give in by a bit of temptation like that. God, they're both awesome! Oh. Do not underestimate your mother. You're so awesome! That's not what it's about, is it? Both of them with the same stupid line. I can't just keep saying that they're like freaking awesome, can I? Just hit us with a double whammy, eh? I don't even know if this is like in his head or real or whatever, but I just want it to be real. Music too! Just everything. Nope, this is just way too wholesome. Well, you got your farewells in with both of them. Why does this hit so much harder than anything else so far? Oh! So before he left for the store, eh? This is the worst. This is so much worse than anything I could have expected. God damn it. Well, the episode's almost over, so just do your cliffhanger thing. I know you want to. Up. Hi there. You look pretty good in the uniform, though. Oh, proper ending for once. Will the butterflies ever come into play, by the way? Because they're a pretty big part of her whole theme. I'm just gonna say I'm so glad that scene ended when it did. Because about 1 minute more of them and that would have been a crying, sobbing mess. Also, Beatrice sure is also featured heavily in this, eh? That's such a nice shot to end on, by the way, like split. I want to talk about the ending, but this ending has so absolutely nothing to do with the wholesomeness, freaking everything we just saw. How do you even put that into words? Like, how does this anime continuously, by the way, has to skip the opening just to be able to squeeze its story into these 25 minutes? And this is the first time we've seen the ending, not the first time we've heard it. I'm pretty sure it played in the outro once, which is like so meaningless. Basically, I mean, it's a great song and all that, but you know, as far as endings go, just having it play somewhere in the background doesn't really mean much because, look, what I'm trying to say here is that out of 4 episodes, only twice, that out of the 8 instances where we could have played an opening and ending, opening or ending, only twice have we actually played one of them. So, this anime is amazing. White Fox is amazing. The animation is great. Everything, the music, the whole atmosphere, scenario. Oh. You have this like this again. You had the haze. This like, I don't know if I should put it haze like, but you had this effect on top of the whole episode, which sort of made it clear it's not normal. Like something was up. And yet still, like, I don't know if that was just for him basically to get a form of closure, because he wasn't able to really make up with his parents. Like, not that he really needed to make up with them. Like they made it pretty clear in this particular episode and their talking instances that they like held no resentment towards him whatsoever, but more like they were sad. And so he got everything off his chest that he was never able to do with them in person. Even when he knew that he was basically... Like, I don't know if this is supposed to be all in his head or real. I doubt it's real. Like, the fact that he can just be sent back home to have a nice little chat with his parents and then go back. Especially since in this scenario he never disappeared in the first place. So, probably all in his head. Most likely, until I'm proven otherwise. But he just kind of, played along with it, even when he started to remember. That's pretty much what he was talking about with his parents. The fact that he couldn't take care of them later in life, all that because he's gone from the world. Apparently, never even addressed the possibility of returning. Maybe he didn't want. I mean, originally, I guess he didn't want to. Anyway, but there's so much, and even then, I feel like I'm only getting half of it somehow. That just seems like a running theme of the show, that I'm only ever skimming the surface, it feels like. That's so tragic, bittersweet. I said it in the episode, but this is so much worse in a good way than anything I could have expected again. And of course you gotta end it on a cliffhanger, because why wouldn't you? So... yeah, basically, school was just sort of the goal of this, I don't know, trial, the first step of the trial, probably. I doubt we're over and done with it. It also has me wondering, is Emilia, also gonna be meeting Echidona? Because, again, she's the one who made the trial, basically, sort of, it seems. And the fact that she was greeting Subaru, at the finish line there, in the classroom, sort of implies that too, and, Emilia's, taking the trial too right now, right? That's what she's doing. So, So yeah, I guess next episode's gonna be whatever comes next. At least, I feel like we're over with we're kind of done with the past story here now. That was the whole point of the trial, to, be confronted with your past and all that stuff and deal with it. We haven't really addressed the headache, heartache thing yet, did we? I don't know if it was just basically part of the trial, that because he kept dodging the issue and all that, so that the trial was punishing him for it, and if he had succumbed to it, it would have failed. Has a chance. Or, if there's something else going on that the next episode will reveal to us. God, I love this anime so much. It's awesome. It's awesome. Music, animation, and everything just plays so well together. Yes, so that's all for now. Until next time, see you then. Bye.